Good morning and welcome to the walk around or the instructional video for the 2020 Bailey Autograph 79 2F. It's quite windy this morning, so please excuse any interference with the noise. We're going to do the outside first and then we're going to move to the inside of the vehicle. So first of all, this is based on a Peugeot Boxer HDI 160 horsepower. To open the bonnet, there is a latch here which we pull down, and that then just allows us access into the bonnet. There's a small latch underneath which then allows us to release the bonnet latch. Underneath the bonnet there's not much that you will need to know, apart from if you need to jump start the vehicle. The positive terminal is underneath this cover, and all we do is put our key in and then lever it up, and that then allows the positive terminal. The negative terminal or the earth is on this small spigot here. We have oil, and then just underneath here is the dipstick. There are going to be some extras on this vehicle that are fitted other than standard. This particular vehicle does have an auto clutch system. And then we also have the identification plates. It's important to check the vehicle before you set off from home, or when you're setting off from site to go home. As we move around the vehicle, on this particular box, so the exhaust is just on by the driver's door. We also have the inlet for your electric hookup. As we move forward, this is your flue or the vent for the boiler. Please make sure that it's not full of leaves, etc. And also just be careful because it will get very hot. As we move further on, we get to the gas locker. This particular vehicle has a gas low refillable and gas bottle system. But as standard, it comes with a regulator, and this is a crash sensor. Basically, if it does sense that the vehicle has been in an impact, this will lock off the gas. So in essence, you can drive with the gas open. There is instructions how to reset it by pushing the little yellow button in. Again, on this particular vehicle, it has a gas low system, and the customer that is picking this up will be using also supplementary gas as well. To use the supplementary gas, you would basically take off one of the pipes of the bottles, making sure that the bottles are closed. Connect your gas bottle then up to this changeover valve, and that will then allow gas into the vehicle. Make sure in the gas locker you don't store anything that might puncture the bottles, and also make sure these holes are kept open for venting should there be a leak. All the doors do hold on latches open, and on this particular vehicle, again with a gas lock system, make sure that the pipes do not get caught or trapped in the door. To lock the doors, all we do is spin the handle, get your key, and then all we do is push in and turn till the red ring goes away. And to open, we just turn it till the red ring appears, and then just turn the handle. Next we have our whale port, which is for our whale system. Basically this just allows you to fill the vehicle up with water. There is a hose pipe inside, and in essence you can have live water with this vehicle. If you're on a serviced pitch, you connect the hose pipe on one end to the tap. You connect obviously the whale system onto this connector. You can leave the water on and then just fill up as and when you need. Alternatively, if you just have a hose, you can fill up straight into the tank, which I'll show you inside. Moving just behind the driver's driver's side rear wheel, we have our grey waste valve to drain the grey waste. As you can also see, this is on an Alco chassis, so underneath at the back there is a spare tyre as well. This locker here is for your toilet, which is pretty self-explanatory, and the instructions are in the manuals for this. Obviously this is an instructional video to give you a brief overview of the whole vehicle, but for any detailed instructions I would ask that you refer to the manual in the first instance, and then if you need us to clarify any workings, just give us a call. To the rear of the vehicle, this particular one has got some additional items, which is a bike rack fitted and also a bar type tow bar with, as the customer's requirement, 13-pin electrics. And we also have the reverse camera up at the top here. The reverse camera can be adjusted to get the angle that you prefer. Moving round, we have access to the under the bed in this French bed model, which I'll show you that from inside. And we also have a thule or two-lay Omnister awning. The awning pole is under the bed in this as storage, but how it works is you put the awning pole up into the hole there, quarter turn, and then it will lock in, and then we wind the awning out. We only wind it out as far as we need to reach it, so we can in essence grab it, go with the front box. Then we drop the legs down, extend them so it supports the weight of the awning, and then we can walk the awning out carefully. The biggest rules with awnings are the awnings and wind do not mix. I can't show the awning today because it is too windy, and if you're using it in the rain, make sure that one leg is dropped so water drains freely, and make sure there's not too much weight of water on the awning. Also make sure that the awning is dried before it's put away, or if it is put away wet, get it out as soon as possible to let it dry so it doesn't go mouldy. Here we have fridge vents. Make sure that these are not jet washed directly, and if you're using it in winter, so if you're gonna have driving rain or extreme cold, you might want to get winter covers. This hatch here is for the external gas barbecue point. And as we move forward, we also have an external power point for 240 as well. And then finally, on the outside of the vehicle, we have our diesel filler, which you need the engine key to open, and also the AdBlue tank. AdBlue is an additive for emissions. The vehicle itself will tell you when you need to refill the AdBlue, and make sure you do so when it advises. Otherwise, if it does go down to zero, it will not let you start the engine. Right, so that's it for the outside of the vehicle. Let's move to the inside. So while we're on the inside, let's first of all do the keys. So on this vehicle, you can see the top button opens the cab, the bottom button opens the habitation door because it's on central locking, and then the middle button is to lock all the doors. You have a one engine key with the flip key. You have a spare engine key, which is just the blade, and then you have two locker keys, one of which is on a flick as well. So let's start from back to front. At the rear of this vehicle is the bathroom. Many of us will be pretty familiar with how the showers work. They're all pretty simple. And this one has a rail for hanging towels or wetsuits. Make sure that the vents are open when you are using the shower. There's storage in here, and then also the toilet itself. Again, toilets we're pretty familiar with. How it works is basically this spins so you can get yourself comfortable. It's a blade underneath, and the blade allows us, the handle allows us to open the blade in the toilet, which allows access to the toilet cassette. We also have the flush, and then this indicator lights up when the toilet cassette is full. The procedure for the toilet is simple. It is open the blade with the handle, do your business, flush the toilet, and then close the blade afterwards. The light switch for the bathroom is just in the corner here. On this, like I say, French bed model is storage lockers above. And just as an aside, all windows and roof lights have fly screens and blackout blinds. They're the same on every window and roof light. Again, with the blinds, please just be careful with them. They're designed to be as strong but as light as possible. The French bed does lift up on gas rams, and underneath here we have, you can see the access that we saw from outside. There is a box for the television that's just fitted on this particular vehicle. We have the whale hose, as I mentioned, and just a bit of a starter pack with some bits for you, including a new pigtail or gas pipe connector, which isn't needed in this vehicle because it's got the gas law system. There is a draining board for the sink, a new hookup cable, and this is a pipe that allows easy filling of the AdBlue. This is your awning pole, your carpets, and then an infill piece for the front beds, which we'll get to. Also, there's a hatch in the floor here, which if we lift up, gives us access to the wastewater tank. So the wastewater we know we drain from outside, but if you want to get in and give it a good clean, that's the access point for there. And obviously there's just storage. There's also the table which stores and just drops down using the legs, which can be used in the front lounge area. We have a blind that pulls around and connects to this magnet. And then again, this particular vehicle has a TV already fitted on a double arm TV bracket. There is storage in this rear bedroom area, including the main wardrobe. In the main wardrobe is your expansion tank for your Aldi wet heating system. Basically how Aldi works is it's a mixture of glycol and water. Glycol's obviously antifreeze, which circulates around pipes around the outside of the vehicle, causing their heat blanket to keep the heat in. A really effective system. As you can see, there is a minimum and a maximum marker, and it should be around about the middle. When the system is working, that liquid that you can see in that tank will bubble, and that is normal working practice. We move to this side. We've got storage underneath. Please be careful of heating pipes, etc. And we have the new separate Dometic fridge freezer. These are quite innovative and new for 2020, and you can open it from one side or open it from the other. Really handy. The same for the fridge as well, and it's a good size. Make sure that one side is fully connected before you open the other. Again, the full instructions for the fridge are in the manual, but we press the button to turn it on. As you can see, this is a three-way automatic fridge, so it'll work off gas, it'll work off mains, which are 240, and it'll also work off 12 volt. If you click on auto, it will just automatically choose for you. I'm not hooked up on mains at the moment, which would be the priority, so it is trying to search for gas. It'll find out it doesn't have gas, and it will then try on 12 volt, but the 12 volt system will only work when you are hooked up. So basically it's a process of clicking and turning the dial to select what you want. Obviously we have automatic, like I say, 12 volt, gas, mains, and then the symbol is for back. To turn the fridge off, we then just hold the button till it bleeps and turns off. Again, full instructions can be found in the manual. On this particular vehicle is a Maxi satellite system. Here is the main power box for that, and you can see there's a power switch with also a fuse, and then we move round to the control panel here. Again, got full instructions for the Maxi satellite system can be found in the manuals. Then we have the main control panel. The main control panel is relatively simple. In its normal state, it has the time, and this will go dim. This is, we power on and off by holding the power button, which is called the master for Bailey's. So that's the master switch. We can then cycle through. Different menus. I'll just try and get this so we can read it. So we have the leisure battery voltage, and if we press this enter button, it'll also tell us percentage. We have settings, the tank, which tells us the fresh water, the battery select, so we can select between leisure and engine. We would always stay to leisure. It tells us our wastewater level, our freshwater level, external temperature, the internal temperature, our leisure battery ampage, which I've already just mentioned, and our vehicle battery voltage. It'll also tell us the leisure battery voltage. So kind of simple, it's just scrolling through. This button here turns the pump on. This is for our main lights, and then this button is for our awning light. And with the Bailey system, it does tell you everything that you're pressing on. There is a fire alarm and a carbon monoxide alarm already fitted. And then up here as well is a handy little storage area for USBs. The habitation door, again, is central locking, but there's also a blind on the door as well. Turn it around and we'll move to the kitchen. Again, all relatively simple. We have a microwave that will only work off mains. There is storage drawers that are all soft close, and then a storage drawer underneath with your grill pan. The Thetford oven and grill and 4-ring hob again is very simple. It's like your domestic one at home, and it has the electric ring as well for when you're on a hookup. In the kitchen area is the controls for our older heating system, different than the controls for the main control panel, and again relatively simple. We just power on and it comes to the menu. It comes to the home screen. We then press menu. This top one tells us our temperature, so we can set the temperature. This one here tells us we can have for our hot water, so we have off, eco and boost. This one here is for our electric, so we can either work off 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatt or 3 kilowatt when you're hooked up. And then this is for the gas, and you can also, if I select gas and select electric, it'll work with both. So you want to get it hot or get your hot water quickly. Go into the settings, and there are also nighttime and daytime settings, also settings for the clock, and also some various other settings. But simply we have the temperature of the vehicle to set our heating. Underneath is hot water, and then we have the fuel or the power that we're going to use, which is electric or gas. All touch screen, and again more details can be found in the manuals for the vehicle. Underneath there's a couple of power points for you as well. Just underneath the oven is your isolator switches for the gas, and don't touch them in normal usage. You would only use them if you had a leak. The hatch in the floor in the kitchen area, we just pull up, and that allows access then to our freshwater tank. So we can just wind out, and if we look in the freshwater tank, you can see there's a bung, and that is how we drain our freshwater tank. We just pull the bung out. Don't pull the bung from the chain, because it might snap. Make sure you grab the rubber bung itself, and again make sure it's returned, or else when you're filling water up. Also, that is access if you wanted to fill the tank up straight from a hose, straight into the tank, rather than use the whale pump system. This hatch here, again we lift up. We can use it as storage, and underneath this hatch is our leisure battery. This particular vehicle has 2 leisure batteries fitted. One is where I've just shown you, and the other leisure battery is stored underneath this left-hand bench. There's nothing else in this left-hand bench that I need to show you. For the bed configuration at the front, it's a case of we just pull the extension out here, and then that makes the double bed using the cushions. In this overhead locker here, we have just one of the books, and we also have the Truma solar dual battery charger. As you can see, because this vehicle has 2 batteries, both of the lights are lit, and when it's flashing it means that it's working. So there is no problems on that side. Also over here we have all the manuals that we've discussed, the remote for the TV that's fitted on this vehicle, and also the European fittings for the gas law system that's fitted to this particular vehicle. We also have the standard from Bailey status awning, which the control panel is here. On the top is how we turn it on and off. We have the little booster dial, and then we can release this collar which will allow the awning, aerial to lift, and you can adjust it and adjust the skew as well using this little tab. Again, full details can be found in all the manuals for the aerial. That's pretty much it for the habitation area. So obviously little bits that you'll learn in obviously these reading lights with USBs, and as we go around the vehicle, just note that there are a few other USBs on the light switches as well, and which are really useful. So to spin the seats, so basically they will lock in the forward position. To release them, we just pull this handle and then the seat will spin. If it does foul or catch on anything at the back, just use the normal seat slider to allow it to spin. They're fitted with Remis blinds on the front and on the sides, and again the cab is pretty familiar to all of us, but we have, just spin this seat round, but on this side we have electric windows, electric wing mirror controls. We have controls on the steering wheel for the radio and for the phone. The multimedia system again is pretty self-explanatory. We can connect your phone, etc. when you are here. It does have the satellite navigation, but that is a TomTom system, and not Motorhome specific, just for your information. When we turn the engine on, when we go into reverse, you'll see that the camera comes on automatically. On this system, please note that it does have the auto clutch, which is basically makes it a semi-automatic. How it works is by turning this button on, which will then take the clutch away. We then use this button as the clutch. It takes your left leg out of driving the vehicle. There is cruise control and speed limit on this side. Your lights, which are automatic as well. On here, we just flick it down for A, and indicators, and then windscreen wipers on this side as well. The air conditioning system is pretty simple. We just turn it on, and then the outside is for the temperature. Bottom one's for the fans, or this inside one. Then the outside ring is for your direction, and again the inside handle is to decide whether you want to recirculate the air inside the vehicle or use it from outside. And then finally you've got a 12 volt power and also USB as well. So that's it for the walk around of the 2020 79-2F. The systems on a lot of the Autograph range is similar, including the heating system, etc. Again, sorry to keep repeating myself, but if you need to look at everything in detail, it's going to be in the manuals, and again we'd ask that you refer to them. But if you do need any clarification, you're unsure on anything, give myself a call. I'm Brad, or you can give any of the sales team a call at Emm-Bee. Thank you.